This is Rebecca with Red True Crime. Um, let's do some housekeeping. So, so if you are new here, welcome. If you've been here before, um, yeah, you know what to do. You know what I'm about. If you're new here and you have never heard any of these, it's a true crime channel. We talk about missing people, dead people, missing dead people, all that stuff. Um, so if you like what you hear, subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. I think I hear somebody coming in my house. Yep, that's what happened. Someone just came in. Okay, so back to what I was talking about. So yeah, subscribe. Let's start there. Subscribe and then like and comment and all that good stuff. All right. So tonight's topic is going to be Dacara Thompson. I've talked about her before. For those of you who are new to this, Dacara Thompson is a 19-year-old woman who went missing August 23rd in Lanham, Maryland. Beautiful girl. Um, it's a beautiful girl, and unfortunately was found deceased on August 31st, was not confirmed till like September 3rd. They've made an arrest. They've arrested one Hugo Rene Hernandez Mendez. Now, this guy right here, he is the picture in the thumbnail. They say he's 35. He does not look 35 to me. He looks like a scary dude with a scar, like going down the face and all that stuff. Yeah, no. Biggest question everyone has is why did she get into the truck with him or his SUV willingly? That's the question. So we see video surveillance that was out all over the net of her locking her car and walking down a road. We see that. And then there's about 2 hours where she's just unaccounted for. And then police have for surveillance footage that they have not released publicly, saying that they show her walking up to the driver's side window and then walking around to the passenger side and getting into the SUV. It was a black Yukon Denali. And then her phone is, on and whatnot, and it's pinging all this time until he gets to his house in Bowie, Maryland, which isn't far from where the club is. Now they go into the house. His roommates / relatives say they heard intimacy things going on, but somebody was not enjoying it. And then her phone gets disabled around 5 o'clock in the morning. And then her body is thrown off a bridge, and it's found under a bridge in Annapolis. I said this case is just heartbreaking because as information comes out, you find out that Hugo Rene Hernandez Mendez is living in this country illegally. He is from Guatemala. And then you find out he's a registered sex offender. And then you find out when you go through the registration websites, you find out he's actually not 35, he's 54. And he initially went down for the predatory behavior in Texas, El Paso to be exact. So he ended up on the registry in 1998 for SAing two girls, one, 15, one 16. They gave him 8 years probation under community supervision, and he is a lifetime registration person. So no matter where he moves to, he has to register for the rest of his life. See how well that protected Dacara from him? Yeah. It is very upsetting. And the other thing is, he goes by different names. Because under his profile on the registration website, when he was initially arrested for this back in 1998, he went by the name of Hugo Rene Hernandez. Now, in Maryland, he was arrested under the name of Hugo Rene Hernandez Mendez. But he also has other names: Hugo Hernandez, Rene Hernandez, Rene Hugo, Hugo Martinez, Hugo Rene Martinez, Rene Hugo Martinez. These are all the names that he goes under. and he's being charged with first degree and second degree murder. Now, I don't understand. I mean, I kinda have an idea why they're doing this. I gotta believe that the fact that she got into his SUV willingly is probably why they put the second degree murder charge on there. But when they served the search warrant to hit the house in the room he was sharing, they found blood, they found underwear, they found other lingerie, they found one of her fingernails and hair. And they've been able to prove that all belonged to her and she had been in that room. So the question is, why did he kill her? What happened? They did say she died violently. They have not released the full autopsy, but they did say that her skull had fractures and she was badly hurt. When they found her body, they said her body was in very bad shape, which is why they had to take her to the medical examiner and had them do the identification. So I could not even imagine if it was one of my kids that ended up like that. There's just no way. So here's my soapbox I'm going to hop on. Immigration. I am not a political person. I'm just not, you know. Um, I am a firm believer that if you come from another country, you have a right to apply for, status here. Fine. This nation was built on immigrants, you know. My family came from Germany and Ireland and Scotland and all that stuff. So, I am not anti-immigration at all. Here's what I'm anti. Sexual predators being allowed out of prison to sexually predator pursue people to hurt them. That is what I am anti that. I think this man never should have left prison in the first place. I think they should have kept his butt in El Paso, and he should have stayed there for the rest of his life. And if they didn't want to keep him in El Paso, after he served whatever time they wanted to give him, they should have sent his butt back to Guatemala, because that's apparently where he is from. Too many of these cases happen. You have too many predators out there hurting women, hurting children, hurting other men. What is this? What is this? And that's my take on this. I mean, you hear the rumors that Dacara was involved in some illicit things. There's no proof of that, or at least if there is, they're not putting that public. And my thing is this: he was not supposed to be here. And in my opinion, he never should have been out of jail in the first place. We have some of the more lax sexual assault predator laws in this country, in which I don't understand that. Especially when it comes to children being abused like that. I don't understand that at all. 8 years supervised probation? Really? I don't understand that. Just make it make sense to me, because in my opinion, if you are bold enough and depraved enough to hurt someone sexually against their will, I don't think that's something that you can be rehabbed for. I just don't think you can. I think that is a mental something here, and that's not something that can be fixed. Medication and therapy, from what I understand, that urge is always going to be there. You can't control it. And therefore, those people should be not around everyone else. Simple. Done. Because had they kept his ass in Texas prison, Dacara would probably still be alive. This is going to be another, the Democrats and the Republicans are going to turn this into another Lincoln Riley thing. And they can do that because I understand their aspect of it. But I wouldn't be surprised if they go to Guatemala and they get records on him and they find out he's done things like this in Guatemala too. That he's got a record, he's got a history of this. Because you don't just wake up one day, attack women, and you build up to this. And his first charge was in 1998. And he goes by many different names. You can't believe the information that comes out like this. I mean, it's crazy. And, Dacara Thompson was a very beautiful girl, wanted to help her community, was very involved in charitable things, had her entire life ahead of her. The world was her oyster. And this dude took that away from everybody, you know? And people want to come out on her dad and say, "Oh, why didn't you stop her from going out at 1 o'clock in the morning?" You know what? I'm sure that man is beating himself up. I mean, you can sit there and say, "Hey, I don't think it's a good idea for you to go out this late." She's an adult. She's over 18. What do? You can't hog tie her to a chair. I mean, you could, but then, that's a whole other situation. But she did what she did. And that man is never going to forgive himself for not stopping her. He's just not. And it's a shame. And then you have to look at all those rumors that are going around about her. And that's what I hate about the internet, because people can start things without any proof. And if it gets around and people hear it enough, they start to believe it. So the only person who knows why she got into that car is the one that is lawyered up and is not talking to nobody. And that would be Hugo. Now, he goes back to court October 8th. Um, who knows when this will actually go to trial? I don't know. But yeah, Hugo. So that is his actual name. It seems to be one he uses a lot, but I don't know. Like I said, we shall wait and see what happens. But I think as citizens of this country, we need to go to our senators, congressmen, governors, mayors, whatever. We need to go to the government and say, "Look, you need to tighten down these laws against these predators, because it's going to turn into the purge, or some nonsense like that." So that's my soapbox for tonight. And it's just sad. So this is Rebecca with Red True Crime. I'm going to hop off here. As I always say, be weird, be rude, be safe. And anybody who's young, female, be careful. Please use this as a cautionary tale. Don't just go off with just anybody. Let people know where you are. Please. Because you don't want to end up like this. And it happen to anybody. So, good night, everybody. Bye.